saw this last time when we met.
Yeah, right next to me. They say it's crazy all over. I did a launch at La Pearl for HMB Homes,
Okay.
where we did Motor
Yeah,
City.
yeah, yeah.
When I came in there, it took us 45 minutes for me to move from the entrance to go into La Pearl.
Just
Just pictures,
wow.
pictures, pictures.
It's crazy.
Now there is one next week again.
Oh, on the same place? In the same place?
No, no.
No?
This one is going to be in Palazzo Versace.
Okay.
So it's a developer called Manam. But it happens every time. It's crazy. I don't know why people want so many pictures.
Yes. Welcome, Anand. I'm very happy to see you again.
Likewise, Jordan. Thank you for having me.
So today I just want to meet you again and talk about the Dubai market news, because a lot of people are saying now that there is a small bubble and it's time and Dubai gonna crash till the end of the 2025. We will see the price a little bit go down. So what do you think about this? Who is the best right now in the market, as you, as a doctor, to know exactly what's going to happen?
All right. Actually, there are many answers to this. I'll start with maybe one or two.
Yeah.
Probably as the other questions come in, I'll bring the other answers. The first thing is people who are expecting prices to fall this year are going to be seriously hurt, because we are doubling our prices in the next 5 years. This is the real projection based on actual numbers on the ground. So there's no reduction, it's actually going to increase. Even if you look at last year, we had a 21.4% increase on an average for apartments and a 22.6% for the villas last year. Now, the question is, where did this perception come from that we are going to have a decrease? There was a report that came out about 3 weeks ago, the Fitch ratings report from New York. And that got everybody into a bit of a panic, which I honestly don't understand why. When you are a part of the landscape in Dubai, you should be an expert on your market. You have to know the numbers, you have to know the trends. There were two major numbers that were used in the Fitch report. The first was they looked at the percentage growth of population expected this year, and it was mapped at 5%. Last year, the population grew at 5%. Last year, the population grew at 5.93%.
I just read the report that now Dubai welcome 1,000 new residents per day right now.
Exactly.
So it means that the population will
It doubled.
Yeah.
That is what I'm saying. So someone sitting there has just looked at last year, this was the increase. But he forgot. Last year, we had 169,000 people who came, which was an average of 463
So
people
what the
a
share
day.
wants gonna happen right now, and we're gonna see this next year.
100%. It's going to happen because, like you said, last year the average daily new residencies was 463. In the first quarter of this year, it was 1,000 a day. So we're going to cross 300,000 this year, and next year is going to be even more.
This is what I say to my client. We need to find them a place to relocate all these kind of people.
Yeah, so that is the first thing. So the numbers that were projected in the report were not accurate. The second thing is there was a talk about a lot of units being handed over, including 120,000 units coming into the market next year, and they measured that against a 5% increase in the population. Firstly, the 5% increase is we get it by new people coming in. What about the existing people who are here, who are looking to move from renting to owning? That wasn't even considered. What about the holiday home companies that are actually taking over many of these units the moment they are handed over, so they're not available for renting? That's putting pressure on the market. In the last 3 years, we've had a 68% increase in demand for holiday homes.
I know. I own also a holiday homes company, so I know how it's working. And also last year in August, it's the low season, we used to have 50% occupancy rate, and 1 year before we used to have 30%. So what this means that this year it's going to be around 60, 70. So, I can feel the market right now also.
So we know that the reality on the ground is different based on numbers on the ground. A researcher, an analyst sitting in New York just looks at two numbers. It's not as simple as that. Does he even understand the 10 different plans the government has got? We have the economic agenda, the D33, there's the social agenda, the education agenda, E33, there's the 2040 master plan. There is a real estate strategy 2033 as a plan. We actually have a strategy where we are going to sell more than 1 trillion every year from 2033. Does he even know that there's a plan like that? No. But he's sitting there and telling us that the prices are going to drop. On the basis of what? If you actually look at the numbers on the ground, we are short, even in terms of the homes being handed over, because about 74 to 75% of the projected handovers for the next 3 years are less than 20% under construction. These are not entering the market for the next 2 to 3 years. We have barely 15%. Of that, actually, only 5% are between 20 to 40% completed. So, about 8% of the units are between 40 to 100%. Those are the ones that will come out this year and next year. So, we're talking, according to those numbers, based on actual construction, we have got about 30,000 units that's coming out. So I don't know from where they just pick up these anticipated handover numbers and they go and put numbers like 120,000. We know 364,000 units are ready for handovers in the next 4 years, but it will not happen because we are way behind in terms of the actual completion of these units. Plus, the concern is when we have more new units being launched right now, it will put pressure and prices will drop. Not true. The units that are being launched today will be ready 4 years from now. That's for the extra 1 million people coming from 29 to 33. But to have ready units for them from 29 to 33, we have to launch now. So people get confused with the launches of today, which is meant for a future market, and the handovers, which is meant for the current market. Dubai is the first city in the world that has two parallel markets. So when people don't understand the concept, that's when they get confused. But again, a report that comes out there, the problem wasn't just a Fitch report. The problem was many of the agencies and media in Dubai who should have been more responsible. Okay, you got a report and you went and published it. Are you an expert on real estate and government agendas? No. All you needed to do is contact somebody in the land department. Tell them, hey, what are your comments on a report like this? Get the reality from the ground and then do responsible journalism.
You're right.
You don't just take something and you put it out there. And so because it comes in, it came in multiple medias. I don't want to, badmouth anybody.
We all have.
Yeah, but it came everywhere. But not one of them went to source to find out what's the reality. And then it is left to 3, 4, 5 of us to actually come, show the numbers. Firas from Farm brought out all the numbers. We had Dr. Mahmoud Al-Burai who talked about it. I put out a little video sitting at home on but we don't need to do this. Our industry, they need to know what is the actual performance on the ground and not get rattled the moment one report comes out. The moment a report comes out like this and you are shaking, it's a warning sign that you are not on top of your game.
100%.
You need to be ambassador for the city of Dubai.
100%.
Yeah, so there is no drop coming. In fact, it is going to double in the next 5 years. We're short.
Nice. Okay, so and now now regarding our market, there is a lot of real estate agents now. They are doing some commercial and say that this kind of area it's almost done. This one is booming. What is your feeling right now with I can give you some example, but people are saying now that Maritime is the new hotspot in town. We know exactly what's happened now with Beyond. They almost bought 90% of this island. People are saying that Dubai Island gonna boom also, but a lot of people are not so happy with the airline line, you understand? So there's a lot of noise, and also Dubai Island it's more big than Palm Jumeirah if you put all the
Five
islands together. On my side also now in the French market, they really like GVC area also. And what do you think regarding GVC? Because I own also for myself several apartments in GVC, and I almost doubled my investment first of all, and the income that I have, it's unbelievable. So what do you think in the next few years? It's good to feel also this.
Okay, let's take all those areas you said one by one. We'll start with JVC firstly.
Yep.
We are expecting 10,000 units to be handed over in the next couple of years. So people again catch a big number, 10,000. Reality is it'll take about 3 years for those. So you're talking around 3,000 units a year will come out. But what people are missing is the fact that we are having 1 million people coming in the next 4 years, of which 85% of them are in the affordable categories. So for these people, it's areas like the JVC, JVT, the Dubai land.
Yep.
Those are the areas that is going to be more in demand. Now, when developers have been launching, we know part of the agendas, which area is going to feel the need for more. For example, we already know now that JVC, JVT, those areas are going to have between 30 to 80% urbanization increase. There's going to be an increase in urbanization. This is coming in two forms. Many of the new people coming in are going to look to rent. They won't buy immediately.
100%.
Okay, this 85%. The millionaires and billionaires coming will buy their own. So they are going to look at these areas first because they're not going to take these fancy townhouses and villas when they start here. And they're probably coming in as ones and twos.
Yep.
Though the average family size is 5.3 in Dubai, according to the
Yep.
CEIC, Census and Economic Information Center. So they're the ones and twos. For those kind of people, it is these areas that are more attractive right now. Now, those who are looking to move from renting to owning also, for many of them, they're first going to go into an apartment. These are not the millionaires that we're talking about. These are the middle income category who are feeling the pinch of the increase in the rents.
100%.
So they're again going into these areas. That's why we know that these areas are going to continue to boom. Few months ago, you had Nakil and RTA made a massive announcement that they were building 3 more exits and entry points into JVC because they know that the urbanization in that area is actually going to happen even more. So JVC for sure is going to still be in demand. Look at the reports month on month. It is still among the top 2
Yeah.
in terms of sale and resale.
Yeah.
So people are saying a lot out there, but are they really looking at the performance? Because the numbers are speaking exactly the opposite. That's one. Secondly, Maritime City, yes, is coming up. It's going to be very attractive. And the noise has come because of the type of developers. MAG has been there for some time. Omniath was already there. But then you had recently, in the last couple of years, you had Damac with a launch there. Then you had Danube with a launch there.
Prestige One is coming also very
Well,
soon.
Corals and
Yeah.
Oceans. Then now Damac again went with Chelsea, and that made a lot of noise. Beyond came in there, and there is more and more coming in that area. And we know it's going to do well because its neighbor is Mina Rashid as well. And just about 8 minutes to 10 minutes away is the Dubai Islands. So the first thing people need to understand is Dubai, every area is attractive for a different type of buyer.
Yep.
So we have the emerging areas like the Dubai Souths, you got the Dubai Islands, you got the Maritime City. These are now emerging hotspots. So these are going to attract at this point investors more than the homeowners.
Yeah, but we can feel also in the inventory that the developer offer us when they launch a project. We can feel also if they put 80% of studio, let's say now in Business Bay, I'm working a lot with Bengati and almost all them projects, Skyrise, all these kind of projects, they almost offer studio. Why? They don't gonna offer 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom because the demand is not for this kind of area. And if you are going right now to other location, every developer know exactly what's going to happen in this area, so that's why they offer this kind of unit size.
Because see, the developers are working in line with the government economic agendas. And when they see this huge 2.5 million people coming in the next 9 years, and then we have about 3.9 in total coming in the next 15 years, we know those are the ones and twos like we spoke about earlier. So keeping that in mind, we know that the future rental yields are going to be a lot more from the studios and the one beds. That's why there is a lot more of those coming in as inventory. So my point is that every area in Dubai is still attractive, but for a different type of buyer. There are the well-established communities where the buildings are ready or almost ready. Those are going to be having a lot of movement among the homeowners who are looking to buy.
Yep.
And all these upcoming communities that we're talking about are more at this point for the early movers, the investors coming in. And later on, you will see homeowners moving into those areas also.
But this year, I can feel with all the clients that I have, if I can compare it to last year, now I feel that a lot of expats who live now in Dubai, they were not supposed to stay in Dubai at the beginning. You know, they came, as an expat, business traveler, they stay for 3 months, 1 year. And now, when I speak with this kind of people, they say, Jordan, I'm going to stay. And I want to start investing. Why? Because the price of the rental market is so expensive. And now we can feel also the loan and the mortgage are increasing now in Dubai.
Absolutely.
So there is two markets. There is, of course, the off-plan market and there is also the ready market. But with the people that just need to put 20% because they have Emirate ID and they mortgage the 80 more percent.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to say. That there is no one area where we can say, okay, this area is excellent now.
Yeah.
It is excellent for a certain type of buyer. for the homeowners, it is going to be those communities where even the lifestyle opportunities are ready. Because I mean, there are many communities handing over now, but the lifestyle opportunities are not yet ready. So they bought early into those communities. Those clusters or towers are being handed over. But the lagoons haven't come up yet. The mall is not there. The school is not there. So therefore, these are communities where at this point in time, homeowners are not really going to go there. I don't want to live in the middle of sand. So the communities which have got the lifestyles ready, or like the business base, the downtowns, the DIFCs, the JLTs, these areas, the Maidan areas, the
Do you
Dubai
have,
lands.
if now we are talking about Maidan, do you have insight maybe regarding the mall?
I don't have.
Everyone say you know
Yeah, yeah,
something,
yeah.
but I want to
No,
know something.
it's going to take time still.
Yeah.
It's going to take time. There is no clear announcement on it right there. And
Okay.
one of the things I think would be unfair is if he just made a comment about it
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
without having the accurate information. But I'm sure that is going to be a huge crowd puller in terms of investment as well as homeowners when the clear announcements come out. At this point, no.
I think so because right now also in Medan, of course, you have District 1, you also have Shoba Heartland 1, the one, and also Shoba Heartland 2. But my favorite community right now, it's going to be a gate community, will be Medan Horizon. And
Yes.
that community now, they just launched, for me, the phase 1 because they just launched 6 buildings on around 60, 70 buildings. And I feel that in this community, it's the perfect match for end users because we are between the new downtown with Creek Harbor and
Creek
the old
Harbor.
downtown with Business Bay and downtown.
Yeah, and those roads, you don't have the traffic problem, so it's not going to take you long to get to where
Yep.
you are. It also does have some exclusive lifestyle with MBR not too far away from
Yep.
you, the District 1. So yeah, those areas are going to, in the next 5 years, you're going to see a lot of activity coming out of the Maidan areas, Horizon as well. And you can see some good names going into those places in and around that area. Ellington is also gone in there. So when Ellington and the show bars and all of them are going into those places, you know these are developers with a long history. They study and they understand the markets and the future potential. The fact that the big players go into some place already tells you that there is future coming up in those areas. But that is when people understand the dynamic of the market. So at this point in time, as we are sitting and speaking, market is excellent. People should come in here if they want to pick up the opportunity because they are going to be paying an average of 15 to 20% more every single year for the next 5 years. That's for sure.
Okay, thank you. What about now? Because me, I promote almost only Dubai, okay, for my clients. Because I know when you promote something, you need to be aware of exactly everything. And now people are talking about, Abu Dhabi on one side.
Yes.
They are talking about Ras Al Khaimah with Al Marjan Island on the other side. And it's good for me also to have you feeling because I have also mine for Abu Dhabi and also for the second one because now they launched El Kuwain downtown.
Showbuzz coming back.
Shoba, it's booming this part, Sini Island and also Al Marjan. But on my side right now, it's good to invest in Al Marjan if you buy in not in residential. For me, it's nice if you invest in hotels. So I saw a lot of property, with W, and then they give you a guarantee yield. For me, it's better because if you go in Vegas, you're gonna use a hotel. The Wynn Casino, it's gonna be a 300 height. It's like the Eiffel Tower. So from my side, what do you think about this? Because people say it's at 45 minutes. People say it's at 1 hour. On my side, I can double check at 2 p.m. It can be 2 hours, 2 hours and a half. So what do you think about this area? I know that it's gonna booming, but I almost invest there 2 years ago in Nikki Beach project, and now I see that they did almost 50% increase. But for me now, this market gonna be, I don't know. There is already a lot of hotels in Al Marjan, not in Al Marjan, in Ras Al Khaimah. And for me, what's happened now with Abu Dhabi, I think we're gonna hear an announcement with the casino in the next few weeks. I know that they were supposed to give the casino authorization before Ras Al Khaimah, and I think maybe in the future they will give also the casino in Dubai. But what do you think about all this news with Disney now in Abu Dhabi?
Okay, what we have to understand is the entire UAE is growing based on plans.
Yeah.
It's very strategic. We are not competing against each other. We are collaborating with each other. So, for example, the Dubai agenda is very clear. It is commercial and it is going to be global reach for businesses, large scale events, IT, technology, the manufacturing is coming in a big way. 168 kilometers coming up in Dubai South, square kilometers. So Dubai's focus has been different. It's going to be education, it's going to be quality of life, going to number one. RAC, we know, cannot compete with Dubai on the business and on the AI and the large global events, etc. No, they can't. So RAC took the attention first with the casino.
Okay.
RAC could not take it with waterfront lifestyle. We can give you waterfront lifestyle in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Sharjah as well.
Yep.
So just on waterfront lifestyle, RAC would have never caught the attention. Even if they have hotels, we got hotels waterfront. How many? We got the Palm Jumeirah itself has got 80 hotels just on that one palm. So for RAC, it was the casino that first caught the imagination because it was the first of its kind opportunity in the region. So it did divert some interest into that area, which was good for the Emirates because you grow when your neighbors are strong as well.
100%.
The whole area has
Yeah.
the problem. Now RAC has actually moved their focus a little bit more. They have a lot of the hotels. There's going to be a lot of waterfront lifestyle. There will be very good holiday home business happening in that area when the casino opens. We know that for sure. But they've also got RAC Central. RAC Central is the future DIFC here. So you got licensing authorities, government authorities are there. You got the RAC DAO, Digital Asset Oasis, which is coming up there. You're getting hotels, you're getting residences, you're getting offices coming in there because the offshoot of the casino is going to be retail. It's operations come businesses. It's going to be hospitality. It's going to be tourism. It's going to be real estate. So there are a lot of other businesses that are going to start coming in. That's why RAC Central got set up. So that has become one of their drivers. For us, DIFC has been a driver for years, but it is not the driver for the future for Dubai, but it is for RAC. So you can see RAC is driving on different pillars for their economy compared to us. Abu Dhabi has got the vision 2030, but Abu Dhabi largely was focusing on entertainment. So they were going for global. That's why you got the Ferrari Worlds, you got the Warner Brothers, you got the Yas Islands. Now you got the Disney coming up. Brabus is coming.
SeaWorld.
SeaWorld. So they went to the and some of the biggest bands, the biggest rock concerts, the names are all going to Abu Dhabi. So Abu Dhabi has been promoting the culture, the tourism, the entertainment side, and they are also bringing business opportunities. So each of these are coming with a very different focus. So we are actually collaborating with each other to increase the economic standing of the UAE, which will help every one of these because international investors want economies that are stable. Today, the UAE is the world's #1 stable economy according to the US World News reports. Last 2 years, we are #1. We have dethroned Switzerland. The money economy has been dethroned, and now we're talking not largest economy, we're talking the most stable economy. Last 2 years is us. This is from the US World and News reports. And this is what people are looking for. But all of this is not happening by accident or just opportunity. This is engineered. It's planned growth by all the governments coming together. That is the reason why UAQ is now becoming the next new front. So all of them are going to do well. All of them will do well. So the casinos will come up, but imagine if Dubai or Abu Dhabi had to announce a casino along with RAC. RAC was finished. Because what else could RAC offer? So it is coming one at a time so that there is sufficient spotlight. So when that economy is attracting enough investment and attention, it will move to the next carrot to attract, and then something else will come in here. Today, Dubai does not even need a casino to be driving the market. Just look at last year's numbers. We know that the casino, the noise about it has been there for the last 4 years in RAC. Prices have crossed 80%. But let's look at the total real estate that was sold in the UAE. Last year, 331,000 transactions were registered through 7 Emirates. Total value 894 billion. From that, 226,000 transactions, 68.3% was Dubai. Almost 70%. So 30% came from 6 Emirates. When you go to the money side, it's even better. Dubai registered 760.7 billion. That is 85% of the total revenue from real estate sales last year. 85% came from Dubai, 15% from 6 Emirates. So we don't need a casino right now or a playground, a global playground to attract the money. So those are being built and focused on by other Emirates. We will do our own in the future, that's okay. But right now, the agendas are very different. That's why it's not competing against each other. We know already in real estate, you compare similar products, right?
Yeah.
Apple to Apple.
Yeah.
So we are not comparing Apple to Apple if we compare an Abu Dhabi to Dubai or a Ras Al Khaimah to Dubai. They're not the same. They're totally different opportunities.
Nice. Okay. So I don't know. Maybe today you think to what's happened now in your plan. If you think about something now in Dubai.
Okay. In Dubai, I think right now, what we need to understand, and this is one thing which is really important for all investors to get. I've said it on many podcasts, but I'll say it again for you because I think some of your clientele might be very different, may not have seen it. What is the reason why Dubai has stood out among so many markets on the planet with real estate? The number one difference is the fact that Dubai is an engineered city, whereas the rest of the world is organic. Now, what's the difference in this and where does the advantage come? And we can tie it in as one example to the tariff announcements to see how it worked. Okay. Now, in an organic environment, my growth is largely dependent on a geopolitical situation, or we are in an area where there's a large natural reserve. For example, the Middle East all these years grew on a natural reserve of oil. So, certain parts of the world will grow on certain reserves. And so, I'm dependent on that resource for my growth. Or it might be just an economic zone that I'm sitting in as a country. So I'm not growing because I'm planning and engineering my growth. I'm growing because I'm simply located in an area which is enjoying a certain amount of influence.
Yeah.
So that means that influence could either grow me or it can even drop me later because I'm not in control. It really depends on geopolitical situations, changes in governments. One third of the world went through government change last year, and you can see how that is affecting people. So I'm not in control. With Dubai, it was the other way around. Dubai engineered it. We made plans. For example, you have the Dubai Economic Agenda, the D33. That's 10 years in the future. You got the social agenda, S33. You got the education agenda, E33, quality of life strategy, 2033, real estate strategy, 2033,
AI strategy.
urban master plan, 2040. Now, see the thinking here. This is why we call it engineering. When we created an economic agenda, we wanted to double our economy in the next 10 years. Now, you cannot just do that focusing on creating business ecosystems. Right now, we are the number one business environment in the world for the last 4 years. The the Global Entrepreneur Monitor Report, GEM. We are number one in the world. There's 13 criteria on which they measure cities in the US, Europe, Singapore, China, India, all of that. And we're number one in 12 of the 13 criteria. But we're number one on the planet for the last 4 years. But again, creating an ecosystem for business and having the environment, the governance, access to funds, it's only one side. When you grow all these companies and businesses, you're going to have families coming in. So alongside the D33 agenda is the Dubai social agenda. We have to create the ecosystem for families. So you see, this is not just something happening. It's thought through. Now, when families are coming and you're creating agendas for them, there are going to be kids. So now we have the education agenda, E33 as well, E33. Now, why would a family come here if we cannot give them the quality of life to attract them? Why should they leave a Sydney, a Singapore, a Toronto, or a New York or London and come here? So we have the quality of life strategy 2033. So you see, it's a well-rounded approach where everything has been thought about. So the strategies, we give you everything, including giving you the best airport in the world.
Yeah.
Some things people don't think about with an airport. Why do you need such a big airport? We are already anyway number one on the planet for the last 9 years in terms of traffic that we're handling. It's not just the size of the airport. We're building an airport to handle 260 million passengers a year. But
Now it's 100.
at the moment, yes.
Yeah, at the moment.
Because we have a long-term plan for till 2035 is when it will go on. But we need to understand one more thing. We are going to become the number one city in the world. Everything that we are doing, we want it to be the best. It doesn't always have to be the biggest, but it has to be the best. Now, when you come to Dubai, we want to deliver an experience. The first impression anybody has of a city is its airport. You
The first and the last.
and the last. That's what I was going to come to. So I come in. Imagine you come to a city may be beautiful, but there are snake queues. It takes time for luggage. The transfer from a plane to the airports are still by coaches and something. There's a lot of stuff where you don't really feel what happens if there's a delay. Our airports are like cities. You can spend 2 days in the airport
Yeah.
and still have so much to do. So your first impression to the city is wow. You come in and the city delivers on that impression. Now, when you're leaving, the last thing, why should that be an average experience again? We'll give you the best in the world.
You're right.
This is our thinking with how we do things. We engineer our tax strategies. We are having one of the best taxation systems in the world, which we copied from Monaco. So that's our thinking, how we do things here, because we want to give you that best experience.
But this is the feedback that we always have from friends or from clients. They say when they arrive in Dubai for the first time, they all thinking or they all have the same answer. Jordan, do I have to move in Dubai? You understand? And when they leave, they always are very sad. And when they just arrive in them city, they say, what we do here. You understand what I mean?
Absolutely. I was sitting with another gentleman, a local gentleman, and we were talking last week. In fact, I'm going to be doing a project with him soon. We cannot talk about it till it comes out. And he said one of the problems Dubai always used to have is there was no circulation of money within our city. We were considered a transit city.
Yeah.
So people would come here, make their money, and go back to their home countries, or they were moving on to future destinations. So they were going to the US, to Canada, to New Zealand, and Australia.
But things change now.
Now it has changed.
Yeah.
That is the reason why now we are calling it Destination Dubai. A destination is your final point.
Yeah.
You come to a destination. Earlier we were like Transit Dubai.
Yeah.
So we have changed, and to change this perception in just the last 10 to 15 years is absolutely incredible. Where the whole world today is leaving their countries and they're choosing to come.
It's the dream right now of a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And when people are coming to Dubai, they have a plan, to stay, like I told you, one year, 6 months, and to enjoy Dubai lifestyle. But at the end, they are coming for taxes. You understand? But now, if Dubai just increase taxes for 50%, I feel that people are gonna stay.
People will still come. Yeah,
Because the lifestyle will be the same, the security will be the same. So now people are not coming to Dubai just to be in transit and then after go to US or go back to them home country. Now they stay and they plan to stay.
Yes, that's because if you actually look at the way the city has been built, our DNA has been built to include people. Most countries now are creating policies to exclude people, to keep people out. You can see it happening in the US in a massive way right now, what's happening there. Europe is having the same issue right now. Australia is having it. We're having it in Singapore. You cannot as a foreigner buy property anymore. It's a 60% stamp duty. So that's what they're doing there. Here, because we have the blessing of space, and of course we are a young country, so we have that opportunity. We are making it even easier for people to come here. This is one thing. I'll give you one example of how the engineering positioned us. See, the thing with the engineering, we are not growing because when there's a war with Russia and Ukraine, the money is coming here. We never plan for those things.
Yeah.
We never plan in Israel and Gaza.
Yeah.
We plan our city to become the best on an economic agendas, our plans. And because we are actually achieving these plans, we become the natural go-to city when something goes wrong anywhere. That becomes the icing on the cake for us.
Yeah.
That's where we find people coming here. Let's look at what happened when the tariffs got announced. The tariffs were announced. I think it started with Canada and Mexico between the 1st to the 3rd of March. Then there was a 90-day timeline given, all of that. And a few days later, Trump announced a whole list for the whole world, which is all under negotiations, different stages. But at that moment, immediately people began to speculate and say, now foreign money will not come in here. People will hold back. Economies are going to be volatile. Currencies are going to fluctuate. We don't know. Let's wait and watch. And I started hearing this in the market from a lot of the brokers and the salespeople saying, our investors are saying this. I said, yes, they will say it because they don't understand our city and our plans.
Yeah.
And what are you doing? How are you educating them about this? If you think numbers are going to drop in the city, you will have to take some responsibility for it yourself. Because as an ambassador for the city, you have not been able to explain it. Now, I actually did the numbers, and anybody can fact checked these numbers. I looked at the transactions from the 1st of March to the 31st of May. That was the time when all the tariff noise was happening. Now, why I took 3 months? Because usually when someone comes in and buys, it might take sometimes 4 weeks to 6 weeks for the actual registration to show.
But how they can say that? Because as you can see, the currency, the dirham, don't move for 30 years. It's close to the dollars. And now you can see it's good because almost all my investors are coming from France. As you can see now in almost 3-4 months, you see the difference. You know, I used to have client. I can give you an example. In December, he was supposed to buy an apartment in 2.5 million dirham. In his mind, it was 650k euro. And then he just put the EOI, and after 2 months, he sent the money. But he said, Jordan, now I'm gonna pay this 590 something, but you told me it's gonna be 650. I say, brother, in 3 months, we used to be at 3.80 dirham euro, and now it's almost 4.20. So for 1 million euro, you already make the the capital appreciation that you were supposed to make in 3 or 4 years, and now for 1 million euro, you earn almost 100,000.
Yes,
It's crazy.
No, that's
so
right.
that's why the timing also, location it's important. Now it's Dubai, of course, but the right timing it's also very important. And now the currency, if people have euro, it's the right timing to invest in Dubai.
Yeah, not only euro. See, it's the right time to invest for many reasons.
Of course.
Even if you don't have the euro, you could be coming from other parts of the world and your economy is not stable.
Yeah.
So when an economy is not stable, my currency is maybe fluctuating in some cases. So what do I want to do? I want to move into hard assets. I want to go into a hard asset because if my currency, I'm losing immediately.
Yeah.
In a hard asset, I have it with me physically so I can recover in the future as well. Now, when you're looking for a hard asset, I want to put it in an economy that is more stable than the others.
Yeah.
We are the number one stable economy, so automatically we become the choice. Now, what if I not only give you a stable economy, but I give you an economy that is growing at the same time? The world GDP projection this year is 3.2% as an average. This is from the IMF and the World Bank. The UAE GDP is 5.1%.
Yeah.
That's a 59% higher than the average GDP across the planet. China was at 4.8. India is got a good one, 6.4, 6.5. But I'm giving you now a stable economy. I'm giving you a growing economy.
Yeah.
Plus, in that economy, what if I can give you tax benefit directly on your asset? There are no taxes on property.
No. Yeah.
So again, you make more money there. And I give it to you in a city where there's a 70% growth in population going to happen in the next 8.5 years.
That's why the ROI also high.
Exactly.
Because there's no tax on the property.
So that is why we became the reason why even during this time, though the tariffs were announced, people could have moved their money anywhere in the world. Why did they choose? They chose Dubai because they could see what was happening. And I looked at the actual transactions. The average daily registered transaction from March 1st to May 31st, the average daily transaction was 983 transactions. Average volume per day was 3.5 billion. If this is during the time when people are speculating with uncertainty. Now let's look at last year. Last year, 2024 was our record year, the highest ever in the history of our market.
But every year we are breaking
We will
records
break
in
the
Dubai.
record. But this year we still cannot talk about it. It's coming.
Yeah.
But all I'm doing is I'm looking at 3 months when everybody said, now the market will be hurt. So let's see how our market performed when people thought it's going to be hurt compared to last year when there were no tariffs.
Yeah.
And it was our record-breaking year. We did 856 transactions a day. So we had a 15% increase in terms of the daily number of transactions during the 3 months of uncertainty. Average registered value was 2.88 billion last year in our record year. We did 3.5 in the last 3 months.
Yes,
that's a 22% increase.
You know, Anand, I invest in many other continents, you know, in the past, in US, in France, abroad. And usually when you invest in real estate, you're looking for income. Sometimes you are thinking to have capital appreciation, but usually it's very complicated to do both. You understand? Sometimes you will do not this one and not this one. The only destination right now in the world for my side to make both, you know, it's Dubai.
Plus, it's a safe haven now. So people are actually looking. So today, Dubai is attracting people not just because of the appreciation, because it's a safe haven for my money.
100%.
So
This is what I say to my client right now. Forget about the capital appreciation. You will still do it. Of course, it depends where and which developer. But now, if you're looking to nice ROI and income, but to put your money in safe place, this is Dubai.
it is Dubai. So, and again, all of this is the result of what? The engineering,
Yeah.
the plans. This is the difference. An engineered city looks into the future and understands potential. One of the things that a lot of people are not aware of, it'll be good for your listeners also, is we have the DFF, the Dubai Future Foundation.
Yeah.
One of their projects is the Museum of the Future.
Yeah.
So, one of the main agendas for DFF is something called Future Accelerators. The future accelerators is where we use blockchain, AI to predict business models, emergency models like in pandemics, economic recessions, global conflicts. So you use AI and blockchain to simulate multiple scenarios and create best response and the most effective in terms of time as well as resource allocation.
But Dubai now, it's the first laboratory in the world for OpenAI.
OpenAI, correct. Yeah. So again, the reason I'm bringing this up is while everybody is still working with traditional intelligence and past experiences, we are using the same, but in addition, we're using the smarter intelligences. So our response times and how we do things is very different. Look at how we handle COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no way anyone can argue, and we beat every country in the world on our COVID response, including all the first world countries
Yeah.
who had all the power, the knowledge, the medicines, the resources. We put everybody in the shade. And post COVID, our investments went like that
Yeah.
because people could see
I
it.
started investing in Dubai during the COVID period.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is what people have to also know about Dubai. We have plans. So when you make 10-year plans, we have a centennial plan, 2071.
Yeah,
46 years
we want to go
in the
in
future.
March.
So yeah, when you make these plans, you factor into it, what if there's a recession? What if there's a world war? What if there's a pandemic?
Yes, but because the government is totally different. You know, in France now there is almost no government, but for each department they will ask, what is your plan for the next 2, 3, 5 years that they will be on stage. In Dubai, every department have a vision for the next 50 years.
Correct. That is the reason why.
Maybe they will not be alive. You understand? But they already have a plan for this.
That's called engineering. Sheikh Mohammed said it last year. I think it was in June of last year. He said, the future belongs to those who can imagine it, who can design it, and who can execute it. It isn't something that you await. It's something that you create. That is engineering. This is our future. And then in August of last year, he said, when you bet on Dubai, you bet on success.
Yeah.
This is the difference. And we can see the plans happening, coming up in front of us. Last year, he announced a 252 billion dirham budget for 3 years to build 46% of that is only infrastructure creation. Last year in September or October, I'm not sure which one, September or October, he announced the internal roads plan, 634 kilometers of roads being created within the city in 12 different districts on 21 different projects. And a highway plan for 16 billion so that we can handle 6 million people in our city. But when are we hitting 6 million? 2033. But it's already being put into place. And in the next 4 years, all of this is going to be complete. 2 months ago, RTA announced 225 kilometers of roads are being built in the next 2 years, plus 115 bridges and tunnels. That's crazy. So you can see we are preparing before people can come. Part of this 252 billion for this year alone is 82 billion as the infrastructure development. 18% of that is law and order. You know what that means? Because we know when we bring 6 million people, when population increases by 70% and more than doubles by 2040, people are coming from all over the world.
Yeah.
They'll bring their cultures, they'll bring their way of lifestyle, they'll bring their thinking. So there could be potential crime, there could be all of this coming in. We are investing 18% into our law and order, security and emergency responses now for those people to come. If you're following social media, we have just been recognized as the most competent and technologically advanced police force in the world. So all of this is being done. That is the safety.
Yes, it's crazy because people can't understand, you know. There's people that are coming in Dubai, they never see police officer because there is camera everywhere. So it's crazy.
Yeah. So we can see the future. So I feel that's why I'm saying the future is bright. However, my word of caution to anybody, there is a lot of noise out there on the internet,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of noise about Dubai as well.
Yeah.
Many of the voices are very fragmented. The stories out there are all not aligning. So it could be about real estate, it could be about the city, we being in the Middle East, the Islamophobia that some people have, there are perceptions that people have. It becomes
Perception, I think.
yeah, it is perception.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
know that because no one who comes here says it's true what they told
Yeah.
me. Yeah, so they totally change it.
I love to change this way of seeking. When I speak with friend or with client, they say, Jordan, Dubai, it's like this, like this, like this. I say, please come. And when they are coming in Dubai, when they go back, they will change the way of thinking.
Everybody changes their opinion.
Yeah.
I've never heard people's comments are you have very hostile weather 6 to 7 months of the year. You got Iran next door. That's a dangerous country
Yeah.
because it's on the blacklist. You do not have democracy, human rights issues, very Islamic. They come with all of these things.
Yeah.
I have never heard, I'm here 32 years. I've never seen anyone leave Dubai because Iran is next door.
Yeah.
Neither have they left because we have very intense summers. Neither have they left because we don't have a democracy or human rights. We treat our people better than the countries that claim to be democratic. Look at what's happening in the US. Look at what's happening in France. Look at what is happening in the UK and in Australia, in India. And in fact, I tell people, thank God we are not a democracy. Because when we see the fruit of what is happening there in democracy today, democracy is doing nothing in most of these places. Because the problem with it is a great concept that you don't give power to one person or one party. There's someone to counter. But it carries its own problems today. Because even if there is something good that a ruling party would want to do, my role in opposition is to oppose.
Yeah.
I cannot agree. Because if I agree, he stays in power.
Yeah.
So things that are planned that could be done in 5 years take 20 years to actually happen. We never have that issue. And another thing which I actually have noticed, because I travel a lot, especially even to the Far East, the people are disconnected from their governments. Anyway, you name the country, they are disconnected. They don't feel their government is for them. Here, we are connected to our leaders because we believe, we feel that our leaders care for us. This is the difference. I've seen this really. You can talk to almost anybody, they will tell you. Ask anybody in the UK, do they feel their government is for them? Ask in the US, ask in France, in Germany. Ask anyone, do you feel
Everywhere.
Yes, but ask in Dubai. And you'll see. You have a ruler sitting in his car at a pedestrian crossing. There's no signal, it's just and he's waiting for someone to cross. Where would you see that on the planet?
Anywhere.
This is the difference. This is Dubai.
Okay. Anand, thank you very much for all this information. I was very happy to see you today.
Likewise.
And hope to see you next time. And let's
sure,
see,
yeah.
let's see what's going to happen. If you have a last word to say regarding I don't know, for our auditors for the French market, because we already know that France investor are the second more investing in Dubai after UK for the Europe, and they are moving in Dubai, they are investing in Dubai, and they love Dubai.
Even your neighbors, Germany is coming in a very, very big way now. They were never looking at Dubai before. They're looking now. I think the only bit of advice I would give, this is also maybe an interesting point to touch on. I call it the frame of reference. I'm a psychologist myself, so I understand this. All humans operate with what's called a frame of reference. So everyone who's listening to this also has a frame of reference. Now, the challenges we have is our frame of reference is built on what we know, what we have seen, what we have experienced. And it's usually from the past. What I have seen is in my past. What I've experienced is in my past. So I have a frame of reference when it comes to governing a country, when it comes to investing, when it comes to buying homes. But my reference comes from where I am. In most of the countries, there's almost very little of plan. Most of it, if you go into the US, it's 94% ready homes. Of that, 75% are buying with mortgages.
Yeah.
So my frame of reference of real estate and investments is ready homes where people take mortgages. It's not people putting money on sand. So my frame of reference can stop me from really understanding what is happening in Dubai. So that is something people need to be aware of. Also, why it stops us is because our frames are unconscious. They're happening all the time. But we are not even aware it's happening. Some anxiety is there, some discomfort. We cannot even actually say why. So we need to understand that our frames are one, they're unconscious, so they will interfere. Second, they're from the past. But you cannot use a frame that's from the past to try and understand a city of the future.
Yeah.
That is maybe that is I thought I'll talk about this because it will help people if they will understand that okay, use your frame for Germany, use it for UK, use it for the US, but not for Dubai. Recently, I did a session in a developer's office, and there was this Canadian guy who came, but he's been living here for 20 years, so he knows Dubai.
Okay.
And he had this team of 20 brokers straight out of Toronto, Montreal, all of them were here, 2 months in Dubai.
Okay.
So he brought them, they said, listen to this guy. And after that, he came up to me and said, this is my team. What do you have to say to them? I said, how long have you all been in Dubai? They said, 2 months. I said, okay, leave Canada where it is. You are now in Dubai. Don't bring Canada to Dubai.
Okay.
In Rome, you do as the Romans do. Because when we were talking, some of them were like, but that's not how, in Toronto, we don't do it like this. I said, go to Toronto and sell. Don't come here to Dubai and tell us, but in Toronto we used to do things like this. Okay, go to Toronto and sell. You have a failing economy today. The US could possibly go into a recession. So you do not bring models from recession economies or failing economies and tell us, hey, we have to work like you. We don't want to go into that recession. So don't bring those because and I understand them because that's their frame of reference. That's all they understand. But this is not sitting anywhere there. Today, Dubai is becoming the model that the best universities in the school are studying. Don't take us back 230 years old to Toronto. Okay, we are the future. So if you need to open your mind and come in here. We will welcome you. Last year, there was a beautiful video that was made on Dubai. It was released by the Dubai Media Office, which is Sheikh Mohammed's voice, essentially. And it was about Idris Alba, who's a very popular Hollywood actor, and he's in New York, and he's frustrated because he's got these ideas. He wants to do things, and everywhere he goes, can't be done, too much of bureaucracy, who's going to fund such an initiative, the people will not believe, and all of that was going on. And then he meets a guy from the Emirates, UAE, and he tells him, listen, bring it to us. Now, the underlying theme was, if your ideas are normal, we don't want it. Keep it there. Keep it there because it is being accepted by your people. Stay there. But if it is impossible and if it is not normal, bring it here. That's what we want. So I think once people change their perception about Dubai, they will understand. The other message I would give to anybody who is watching this but who either lives in Dubai, invests in Dubai, you need to become an ambassador for Dubai. You cannot come to a city like ours, bring family here, invest, make your money, start your businesses, enjoy this quality of life and opportunity, and leave it to Sheikh Mohammed to take the city into the future. All of us must become ambassadors for Dubai.
Together.
This is very, very important. All of us have to be ambassadors for our city.
Thank you very much for this conclusion. I think is the perfect one.
Thank you, Jordan.
Thank you so much. It was very interesting. Yes, always very interesting to have all this kind of feedback.
Yeah.
And yes, so let me know if today or
Today is difficult. Today
tomorrow maybe. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow also I'm being interviewed for property time in the late afternoon.
Okay.
In the morning I might have one present, but I have some time. So what I will do is I'll give you 2-3 time slots for tomorrow and Monday. I'll give you both.
Yes, and Monday can be good.
Yeah. So just tell me which one works for you.
I think Monday is better.
Oh, then let me give you Monday 2-3 time slots.
Monday is better. Okay, amazing.
Okay, great.
Yes, thank you. So what is your plan today?
I told you now I've got to go.